be curious to see if they're looking to try and protect against their bases with what they know from Synthe coming in. But first off, we have Kingsman heading in with his first attack, trying to set the tone of the war with, of course, that 3-star, bringing in one of the most dominating strategies, this Queen Charge. Drag Rider gets that beautiful pull of the CC, working his way around and clears out the entire 6 o'clock compartment. We've taken down a scatter shot, giving the Queen some nice passage to work in, and we're going to have to worry about that single behind the Town Hall. We want to see that going down for passage reasons for the Drag Riders, of course, but the Queen is going to be in an easy position to work through this with an invisibility spell or even a freeze option to help her get through.
It always looks so clean with the Barbarian King moving just a couple of buildings ahead of the Queen to start that funnel and just allow her in, obviously towards the Town Hall region. Really good start here, and I feel we've had pretty good success actually with the Queen Charge Dragon Riders today. I'm struggling to think off the top of my head many that have actually failed. So Kingsman going with a secure strategy based on the performances today, but the Queen is probably going to step towards that Giga Poison, and he's going to have to be careful in terms of that ability. Might be worth just using that in order to get through towards the single, but wow! Use the invisibility spell at the last second.
Yeah, he wants to keep her alive. He wants the extra cleanup here. Now, we do completely bypass, for the most part, this multi in the core of the base where the Queen can really help out. The Royal Champion focused on working in line with these Drag Riders, making her way towards it, launches that Seeking Shield. Not enough for this one Drag Rider in the core to take it down, but it's looking like he is going to have enough life left over because he used that invisibility spell just on the cusp, kept that Queen alive and well, and has what he needs to come in with a 3-star start to this war.
Beautiful job indeed. You can see the Dragon Riders just cleaning that side. Look at the Electro Owl taking down the Barbarian King there as well, just to make sure that everything was destroyed. We're not leaving anything in this base, and it is a fantastic start for MCES. But as we've mentioned, I'm sure Carnage Gaming will not really be worried too much about this. They'll be focusing on their own attacks. Always good to get an opening 3-star though, irrespective of which team you are.
Absolutely. This is how you know that the war is kicking off to a raring start, that we're expecting to see some big hype going in, because, you know, as soon as those 3-stars start rolling through, it's one team's opportunity to unfortunately crack.
Yeah, they have to respond, and based on earlier wars within the stream, Carnage Gaming can't afford to slip up. They just have to respond and really hope that their bases are ready. However, I always say this in scenarios like this. This is not MCES and Carnage Gaming's first match. Even though it's the first time we've seen them on the stream, they did lose earlier on today against Nolex and Bad Zinger, respectively. So that means they couldn't have known who they were going to face up against unless they predicted and had separate bases built for each other. It's really difficult to know further on down the line who you will face. So that also, I feel, will implement things, or implement's not the right word. You know what I'm trying to say. Impact things.
Yeah, and I think that is a very valid point, that they just have to bring a variety of mix to the table, what they're going to try and defend against, though. You know the current meta right now. It's difficult to defend. Most people are bringing in these Drag Riders, the Hydras, and if it's ground, mostly they're going to be bringing in this this Super P.E.K.K.A. Smash. Now, we do have the Warden leading the way. We've seen a lot bringing in with the Queens just from the opening positions where they've come in from, but no risk of the CC right now, just looking to clear out this compartment, take down the scatter shot. We want to usually take down any flanking damage to this push-in or anything that would threaten the healers as well, because we need to get that carried push through into the core of the base. But it's very time consuming. This can run the risk of time fails when you're using your Warden, but he does have the log launcher, which is going to open up some nice clean clear path, and as a backup we've got the jump to help as well.
Yeah, it certainly does eat into the time, but I have to say I'm really interested by the core of this base. It looks so fearful with the Clan Castle, the Hero's Eagle, all of the Infernos. It is just such a damage zone, but if he can time the Grand Warden ability as everything goes in there, he could rip apart that core. Now, the Barbarian King has actually moved into the base here alongside everything. I'm not sure if he wanted that for down the bottom side there since he used a wall break, but either way, he's managing to use the log launcher to push in, and he's just got to stall out a little bit with the Warden ability for when everything gets into that core.
Yeah, patience is paying off, and beautiful pushing from the 9 to 10 o'clock side here as he used the Ice Golem to tank for Pekka that worked his way through, helped clear some path for the Royal Champion, which extends her life even more. We can see the value of that Warden ability and how it is helping out considerably, and he had the Yetis coming out of that log launcher. This is a beautiful finish point here as they all collectively work together to take on the Town Hall and those remaining defenses.
This base is crushed. I mean, did you see the force he had through to the Town Hall? It always amazes me when teams have the guts to attack from the opposite side of the base, but when you can set the funnel so well, obviously using the Grand Warden on the right and the Royal Champion to the left, you can just power everything through. He didn't have to worry about that Town Hall, but time is something he has to worry about, just waiting on the Queen ability. Does he know it's there? There we go. I was wondering if he was waiting for the Wizard Tower to go down, but then you never know. Maybe he was trying to swag it, or I'm not sure. 3 stars it is, but too close for my comfort. I would just play it safe, get that Queen ability off to finish the attack as quick as possible.
I mean, at this point, I would never swag anything considering the matchup that we had that came down to time, like on the tee, that they had to find out which was the fastest attack play that they had. You know, that just goes to show, as a player, you really can't take too many risks in what you're doing. And particularly, it's not always beneficial to swag things because it can really help you get through to the end and not risk it, not only not tripling, but time failing.
Yeah, and I always thought there was maybe a bit of a psychological reason that teams do this, and you never know, maybe there is, but when I talked to Itsu about this, he actually said that very rarely will they watch the enemy attacks. Yes, they might get someone to have a little casual look, but really you're not focusing on it, so that psychological element isn't as big as a deal, but you know what I'm about to say.
I know what you said.
It's Synthé. It's the Mass Hogs. It's the Skelly Donut. We didn't expect anything less, did we? Such an incredible strategy when we see him do this.
And this is what we're talking about. If you know you're playing against a certain team, you got to watch the value you're giving, like this, giving the Clan Castle and the scatter shot in the core just away to a Skelly Donut. If he sees this, he is going straight for it with the Hogs. Uses the Wall Wrecker, though, to come in, clear out the Town Hall, and this means the Queen can actually pass around. I'm curious to see, is she going to push in, work her way through? Yes, indeed, she is. He's got the King also working here as well. I honestly thought he would try and use them at a different compartment, get more value, but he's got the Ice Golems in there that come out, not the sneaky goblins that I would have expected.
Yeah, I thought he was going to have the sneaky goblins as well, but actually the ice golems have worked pretty good. Not just freezing the Inferno, but also the Expo situated just behind that, meaning he can preserve the Queen's ability to hopefully get even more value, because if he gets this Expo and even the Wizard Tower next to it, there we go. Look at the pathing of the Hog Riders now. Just that thin area into the north. An early Warden ability means he can just power through past the Archer Queen. Not even going to be an issue for the Headhunters at all. And it looks pretty good. The multi-target in the center looks a little bit dangerous for me, but maybe the Archer Queen can get there fast enough.
Possibly, but he does have his Royal Champion. He's still got the 2 heals left over as well, and he's got to play his cards right here, trying to hang on to this final heal spell to come out of what he's coming through and keep it for this multi-compartment, because we have the potential of some giant bombs along the way. Let's see how he spreads this radius. Also, some additional Hogs reinforcing from the side. This is looking good as the Queen tries to wrap her way around and help out here.
Yeah, the Hog Riders splitting around that multi-target Inferno was perfect, because I was worried about giant bombs. Sometimes I think when you're going up against MCES, you could almost bait a Skelly Donut just knowing that Synthé is going to do it. I mean, he takes the risk every single time. So if you could put a base where he got the Skelly Donut, but then you path the Hogs somewhere, that's potentially what I thought Carnage Gaming were doing, but it is a 3-star for MCES. Cynthia always seems to make it work, though. It doesn't matter the risk. He always puts up that 3-star, or it seems like that anyways. In the ESL Mobile Open, I don't think missed a beat last season. There was very few attacks he missed.
Yeah, not something that is too easy to trip him up. It has happened from time to time, but we definitely have not quite seen it here in ESL Mobile Open. And today, a very clean start. Now, this is what we're talking about with MCES. Knowing that their backs were against a corner, there's only one more opportunity, to try and continue moving forward today. They're going to have one more chance if they make it through to get into that last spot, but it's not guaranteed yet. And Carnage Gaming, the one team that could possibly do them in, having a little bit of insight into the team.
Absolutely. And think about the teams that did not qualify into this play-in. They will all be in the next ladder as well. It's going to be super interesting as to whether MCES even qualify through. But again, focusing on the here and now, Anonymous of Carnage Gaming, we seen how strong he was in the World Championship qualifier, where Carnage Gaming did get that silver ticket. The Queen Charge Dragon Riders, it's having very good success today, and this is what we've actually been seeing, is the Archer Queen starting down near the Town Hall and then just wrapping back in towards it. It seems to be what we've been seeing a lot of with this strategy today.
It is, and it just clears out the nice passage moving along, giving the Queen the opportunity of not only picking off any possible defenses along the outskirts, but just clearing what she needs so she can take on the CC mostly unobstructed, especially, having this king that's tanking for her as well on the flanking side of the base. But he has to be mindful of the single does drop the freeze quickly for her to pick it off. And now there's another single. There's like double singles to worry about. He's got to drop this freeze, just gets it down so he does not need to force this ability here. But the Queen really needs to carry on strong, holds on to what she does, rages up those healers, gets the invisibility spell down. He is holding on to this ability for dear life so he can get as much value as possible for these drag riders.
Perfect play by Anonymous. You have to say, base building wise, I haven't seen many double single target Infernos next to the Town Hall, if that sounded correct, but you know what I mean. It was an interesting play, and it meant that he had to get the spells correct. Look at the Headhunters running across the base. They go down to the scatter shot, so they miss the Archer Queen. Can the Owl take that out? He's also got a Dragon, but she's already doing damage to the Dragon Riders. This is dangerous for Anonymous.
Oh, one Headhunter actually sneaks in there while the Electro Owl and the Dragon are able to snipe her out, and the Royal Champ is sneaking in for the scatter shot. Is it enough health? It should be just enough for her to get this done, but he's still got this Queen ability, the Queen ability that he protected for so long that he might need to come into play because he does not want to run the risk of a time foul.
Yeah, I thought he was going to use the wall break to get the Queen back out of the base just that little bit quicker. Again, you never know, but it's a tough one to call, isn't it? When you have an extra wall break that you have in case the first one doesn't get it. He didn't even need it towards the end. Protecting that Queen ability, like you said, having the extra wall breaks. He had things planned into that Queen charge that wasn't needed, and that is how good he was at using the spells. I think that was a dangerous area, but he handled it perfectly.
Yeah, huge spell investment for that Queen, but we do see that quite a bit right now for the Queen Charge Drag Rider. But it's similar to, a lot of Queen Charge Lalos. Your Queen needs to get that exceptional value that you're intending to go for, and that one, it was a little bit risky with those two single targeting Infernos, but very well handled coming in. So they're putting up a pretty epic fight at this point. We are 6-6, both teams going 2 for 2 as Remio looks to keep the momentum going in with the Zapquake Bat Lalo. This is one attack strategy that he is synonymous for.
We mentioned the creativity of MCES, and it seems like we struggle to actually tell you what the attack is because there's that much going on. But that's what I love, the customization. Unfortunately, the Royal Champion did not get that Expo. It still has a tiny little bit of health. He got most of the value in that area. It's not a big problem, but there's two buildings there, the Expo and the Grand Warden statue, and if they'd have gone down, it would have looked even better.
That would have helped out his pathing considerably, and it is a big ask for this queen to try and make it past the Town Hall poison bomb and get those taken out, but we'll see what she can do. Though no healers to keep her through this one, and unfortunately not the king to actually help protect her with this, but he will clear out some more of the base here. I just don't know that that's exactly how he wanted to see this go. Oh no, the queen needs to come back in. Finally gets her back in, forces the ability. He has no freeze to hold this off, but just enough power to get it done.
Yeah, like you said, the pathing is definitely questionable here, isn't it? Because he's got buildings still down to that bottom area. He actually turned the clan castle invisible initially, and that's how the Lava Hound is flying everywhere. Fortunately, the Archer Queen did not pop it, and hopefully that can work in his favor, but there's still a lot of spread out defenses, and well, it's tough to see where the Lalo's actually going to go here. If he can get through, there you go. The bats are on top of the scattershot. I was just about to question where they would be, but the Royal Champion picking them off fast.
And that Hound is just about to pop. It was very low health, so the pups and minions all here in the core going to try and pick it off quickly, but his surround is perfect, and the bats coming in for that back end cleanup, helping to bring this one through. This is not the typical pathing you would expect to see, not the normal type of approach, but the creativity and the adjustments coming from Remio. It's about the only thing you could expect here.
I love when they catch us out. I was looking at that base thinking, how is he going to attack this now? Which angle does he even come in from? And Remio shows us that he had it safe all day long. I mean, he had the bat pathing there. He just needed that splash from the top area. He is so good with the bat spells. I honestly feel like he brought them back into the meta last year when he started doing this Lalo bat attack, and we'd never really seen it prior to that. He's just a master with it, as you see.
He is, and I think what really showcases that is how many loons he had left over and all of those bats. I mean, considering the pathing was just not the typical pathing that we expect to see from a Lalo attack, and from when you send in your heroes to clear out the base, he was able to navigate that well. And, you know, you just think about all that spell value that was left over with those bats to be completely there and available at the end.
Yeah, incredible. And I think just that big, strong push with the Lava Loon from the top is something we also don't see. We think about Lalo being a very surgical and strategic attack, but sometimes if you just need a section of the base with the Warning ability and pushing it in, it can work perfect. And I think that's where thinking outside of the box, bending the rule book of an attack strategy is what really helps you get to that next level. But again, it's 100% across the board. Viking of Carnage Gaming up, and they are sticking with their Queen Charge Dragon Riders. I have to say that we did see them use this attack quite a lot in the World Championship qualifier as well, so they're clearly very comfortable with this strategy.
Yeah, they are. And, you know, I think a lot of people are becoming very comfortable with this strategy, which is why we do see it often used. But some teams are holding up good defenses, trying to protect their bases. I like the pathing that he's going in with this. It seems a little bit safer, hanging on. Oh my goodness, this King and Yak just absolutely barreling their way through the base. I mean, we've got the wall break to open up the Queen access to the Eagle compartment, but with what the King and the Yak have done, she could potentially path herself into the center to take on that multi, depending on the timing that he actually drops these drag riders.
Yeah, I think he got a little bit unfortunate, actually, because the very north wall of that southern compartment has a tiny little bit of health, and that would have allowed the Queen in towards the center. But actually, maybe he doesn't even want that, because with the Town Hall down, the Dragon Riders can easily path off and get that multi-target Inferno. He might even angle the Royal Champion that way, who knows, because he's got so much flexibility at this point. The Archer Queen has got huge value down that right-hand side, and it looks like the Royal Champion is deployed to try and peel off towards that multi.
Oh yeah, and we've got a Tesla farm on the back end to boot here. Warden ability holding strong through into the center of the base, so that multi not a concern now that these drag riders are protected. With the Queen forcing her ability, he has 2 freezes left over. She has the opportunity to heal back up, and she's going to work through and try and finish off some of the job here at the 3 o'clock side, while the Royal Champ and drag riders take on this entire Tesla farm section of the base.
I'm not even going to start talking about it. I mean, I can't believe what we are witnessing. And as if I have 2 back-to-back attacks to cast. This is back-to-back walls like this to cast. It's incredible. The last 16 attacks that I have commentated have all been 3 stars. What is happening in the ESL Mobile Open right now? The talent of these teams is purely next level. We thought we'd seen a masterclass earlier, but the strategies and the customization by both MCES and Carnage is out of this world.
I don't know, Judo. I might jinx this now by saying this, but I think you might be the lucky charm. You casted the first war where we saw ATN come in with a perfect war. You cast the third match where we saw, or the second match where we saw the double perfect war. And now we're in gearing up. I'm not going to say where we're going with this, but maybe if we see something here, I'm going to say you're the lucky charm.
As long as I don't go anywhere, right? Like, let's get Lethal back in here. Let's see if we can get one of these teams to crack. We need somebody to pull out an epic defense here in order to bring out that tiebreak. But who knows? Maybe we will be having the perfect war yet again. Arium with the hybrid. He is one of the players that we've seen using this attack. We always say it's not quite in the meta, but he's actually had quite a bit of success with it. Obviously, the last season of Mobile Open wasn't too long ago. I remember him using this.
Yeah, one of the few players that we do. And when we do see, you know, Asynthé obviously being one of the other, though he does prefer his hogs over the hybrid. But they can really switch up nicely to ground. Now, it's a very specific strategy that you've got to look for in these bases. Typically where you're getting the value of the Town Hall for the Queen, but just creating some close-knit pathing so you get as much value out of the 2 heal spells that you typically only bring to the table because a Queen charge is so valuable to the mix here. But you know what? I mean, when we do see these attack strategies come through, typically we're seeing 3-star connections. Not to say that it's guaranteed, but the percent hit rate is higher, even though we see less attacks.
Yeah, and I think this is something you touched upon last season as well, is that it is so customized to the base. If someone is going to use this, they must be absolutely guaranteed that this is a better strategy than the Queen Charge Dragon Riders. So it's very customized to the base. I do see that Hog Riders have peeled off already and hit a giant bomb. They managed to dodge the poison of the Town Hall, which is obviously a good thing. And I think he needs to break into that 6 o'clock area fast with the King to redirect the Hogs and the Miners across into the middle.
Yeah, and the King is making his way there. He set up the funnel early to ensure the passage, even has a P.E.K.K.A coming in, but the storage blockades him, which means the Hogs are taking some of the damage and effect from it, though we do have the reinforcement of Hogs out from the siege barracks as the Royal Champ cuts across with the Miners in the core of the base. Queen still alive with the ability intact, beating her way through, and with the Royal Champ preserving her ability, if she stays behind these Hogs, this has a big chance to succeed and continue the 3-star streak.
Oh, that was an interesting freeze, I want to say, on the scatter shot. I'm not sure how many miners were up there, but it didn't look like too many. It looked like most of them were down to the bottom, but either way, he's managed to get through to the scatter shot. It's not quite down yet, but I think we're a lot safer at this stage. As the Queen ability goes through, she's got the healers to get towards that scatter shot, and there you have it. It is 4-4-4. Wow, 4 for 4 for MCES. 3 stars all day long. I'm going to stop because that was quite the tongue twister. But Arium with another 3-star for the team.
I love those loons coming in as well. They came for backup for the Queen. It was a little bit tricky of a situation with that BK coming at her, but he did have the ability. Had he not had that Queen ability, this would have possibly been a slight fumble. I'd say possibly because those loons really came in clutch for the scatter shot, especially protecting the Queen there and ensuring that it went down.
I just want to say, I would have loved to have seen the matches that we didn't see on stream of Nolex versus, Nolex, Badzinger, Carnage, and MCES, because so far those teams of what we have seen have been flawless. Can you imagine how epic those initial matches must have been? Wow, this is absolutely incredible. And Carnage Gaming, they need to keep it up as well. As we were saying in that other war, it is all about just picking the safe attacks. I know the previous one came down to the time and it was, super, super close in terms of the investments, but you really just have to guarantee that 3-star and not slip behind.
And this is a lot of pressure at this point. It is the fourth attack to come in for Carnage Gaming, but they want to try and go toe-to-toe against MCES, who's looking to pick up 15 stars this war if they can pick up another triple. Starts off this queen for the Drag Riders, charging her way through. The king ensuring that she paths along towards that town hall, but we need a little bit more funnel set up to keep this going.
Triple ice golem in the clan castle. Interesting. That is something that normally does slow down attacks. It often could force a time fail, but if nothing else, it is going to take him a little while to get through those ice golems. You never know if it continues like this. That could end up being a clutch clan castle.
It could definitely be, but the king has picked up a good amount of value from that side. So for now, actually just distracting those ice golems while the queen actually gets through that single targeting inferno, which would have been the stickiest situation for her, and able to get through the town hall as well. That invisibility spell not only protecting her from that, but also kind of keeping her slightly at bay from those ice golems long enough to take down the town hall here. With the ability intact, she's got a good chance at clearing out more of the backside of the space.
Nice to quickly get the cannon there, otherwise she might have had to commit a spell, but either way, she is struggling over there. Dragon Rider's over on the other side as well. He can't really commit too many spells at this stage, because look at the Archer Queen down there. He does want to be careful on her. Grand Warden ability is used for the Headhunters to snipe that with the dragon, but the Queen goes down. The healers are pulled across. How important is that? What kind of value did he want for his Queen down there? Do the Dragon Riders have enough to come through? Now, he still has the Royal Champion ability, and that could be the savior. The
Royal Champ ability going to be critical here, but he does have one Drag Rider in the core trying to take things on. I was at least hoping for his sake to see the healers pulling up some of the traps along the way, but unfortunately we didn't get to see it. Hold up! That Royal Champ launching her Seeking Shield to one of the last remaining defenses, giving this a final opportunity, though we do see more traps that are going to hold us up. Lots of storages to take down. It's not over yet, but he's looking pretty good.
It looks very good. I can't believe it. It is another 3-star, and we're all tied up yet again, coming into the final attacks. And as the war goes on, you always feel like somebody is going to crack under the pressure, but MCES and Carnage Gaming, none of them want to go home. Remember, this is the lower bracket. Whoever loses, they are out. So now it's up to MCES to put the perfect war. If I had to have a guess, I know I was pretty good with the calculations last time. I feel this one's harder to guess, but I feel MCES have the slighter lead based on time.
I'm not going to guess with that, because you're just too good of a predictor on the time factor. I was impressed at how you got that prediction down to like the exact almost second. So GG. But what I am going to say is that we've got, I believe, Tryhard left to attack in the final hit, and of course Hugo Stiglitz.
Yeah.
So, Tryhard has been up to bat for the last spot on the lineup, with a lot of pressure on his shoulders many, many times over, including in the 2019 World Championships, where it didn't go as well. So this is a lot of pressure, especially with Hugo Stiglitz also with the opportunity to clutch it up. At this point, MCES need to try and pick up the perfect war if they want to put Carnage's backs to the wall to have to put up a perfect war. I just can't believe we're having so many opportunities to actually say this.
Yeah, and jokingly I said last time, let's just face the team captains off with a friendly challenge. And, well, here we go. Try hard, first team captain up, ready to go. And here we are. This is the moment, the pressure that this man must have right now, knowing that even though his team have 3-starred throughout, if he does not, it could cost them the war and send them home. Starting with the lightning spell, though, gets really good value around that area, taking out the scatter shot. But if nothing else, just look at the pathing he now has. He can choose wherever he wants to go with the dragons around the outside of the base.
And opening up this pass for the queen to just clear a little bit more connection. We have the town hall there on the backside of the base. Blimp will carry it through if he starts from about the 11 to 12 o'clock side, as we do see the heroes clearing out the rest of that push. That means a pretty narrowed out path for these dragons, ideally.
Yeah, looks like he's going to pick off the air defense with the rocket balloons. And is he flying the dragons in towards the eagle and using the blimp all of the way through? That's what it looks like to me, because you would not fly the dragons in towards the town hall, surely, unless he's going to ward an ability and just rage them out. But the fact that he's got the blimp, I think he's coming from the north and just going all at it here. It's actually, I mean, it's working pretty good. As you see, the pathing is set up. There are the dragons up towards the north. He will be looking to just pick off those air defense as he goes around with the rocket balloons.
And this is also the best path for him to actually get the Warden ability off with the Headhunters to help take down the defending RC, though they have gone down pretty early, so the Royal Champ won't need them. We have the Dragons to help support this, but we need to hold this ability to clip this blimp in, work them through, gets it just right there, and no issues of the air sweeper to try and push them back, but does get the rage down over top. Nice, beautiful push coming in as the dragons actually spread out through the base. They're going to completely bypass the poison bomb because of this timing. And with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, I'm just watching the time to make sure that I'm not going to call this wrong, but he's got more than enough time to pick up this 3-star. MCES throwing down a perfect war and sending the challenge to Carnage Gaming to try and get it on time.
Incredible. I mean, he had this all day long. I thought MCES might be in the lead in terms of attack time slightly, but that was a pretty quick attack, to be honest with you, as well. It really is going to throw up the challenge for Carnage. The perfect war for MCES. I cannot believe it's happening again. Oh my gosh.
So I don't know if we know exactly what the attack time is, what they would need to beat, like where they stand. Oh, do you know?
We do know.
Oh, we do know.
It's MCES are in the lead. That's all I'm going to say.
Okay. Judah's not giving any details here, so we're going to keep it exciting to the very end, because if Carnage pull in that perfect war, Judah's knowledge is going to come into play, and he's going to have to tell us what it's going to be. But Hugo Stiglitz with the big opportunity to try and find this, pull in the second double perfect war. Can he do it though?
With the Lava Loon as well. How quick can he deploy this? I mean, Lava Loon can be pretty quick, to be honest with you, but you really need to get that pathing, as we say. So he started with the heroes at the bottom. The lightning spells are in. It's a relatively quick dive into the base already, but he really has to be careful on the deployment, because yes, you can throw everything at the base in order to catch up on time, but you obviously need to try and get those 3 stars as well. So he has to be careful, and it can be a fine line of making sure you don't rush too much and then miss it.
Yeah, and dropping in that Headhunter is going to help quickly move through the defending king, giving the queen, the king, the opportunity to take on the scattershot compartment and try and not waste too much time here. Also means that that king's not going to be up on the back end of the base to distract the loons or the minions or the pups from getting the job done here and wasting some valuable time. But beautiful position as we clear out this base, connect what we've already taken down with the lightning spell, and give a start off point for this Lalo straight in for the eagle, with a big wraparound in this L shape that's been cleared up.
Yeah, maximizing those haste spells. Get the balloons forward. Let's go, go, go. Lava Loon pushing in from that side. A really quick early Warden ability for the balloons, and try and just get that blimp all of the way through to the town hall. The beautiful thing about that is once the town hall is down, the poison would actually expire by the time the balloons got there. But look, the balloons are taking a huge amount of damage down there. A wizard tower knocked them to very little health, and a red air bomb did finish a huge group off. Is it enough? Royal Champion on that back end. It looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, hanging on to this Royal Champ, not investing her in the start, but coming through for the back end is clutch for this as the Loons try and work collectively together. Warden actually coming to work with them as well, but look at the value of the pups so far. They're trying to pick off those defenses, but at least distracting for now as the Royal Champ hangs on to the ability. If time is the factor here with the triple, Royal Champ really needs to get going. Launches that Seeking Shield, but there's 41 seconds remaining as the Loons get fizzled out here. Can the Royal Champion do it, Judo?
Oh, no! Oh, the tornado trap. She might have if it wasn't for the tornado trap. Going to struggle down to the end of it. And what a tough attack for Hugo Stiglitz, because he knew he had to get everything in super, super quick. Unfortunate. Moving down to the end of it, even if the Royal Champion had have finished off the base, MCES would have got the victory. They had a 2 minutes and 25 average attack time, and prior to that attack, Carnage had 2 minutes and 40. So it is MCES who get the victory, but what an exciting matchup. We expected nothing